2026 and you finally want to reduce inflammation because maybe you are tired all the time and even a good night's sleep cannot get rid of the fatigue, or you want to balance your hormones and feel 100% comfortable in your own body again, or you want to slow down aging just a little bit. Whatever your goal is, I'm here for you. Today, I'm gonna share 4 science-backed strategies that have proven to bring down inflammation and help me for the past 9 years to stay in remission from Crohn's disease. Over the past 2 years, I've made hundreds of recipes aligning with exactly those strategies, and today I'm so excited to share them with you. Let's get comfortable, grab a pen and paper, grab a coffee and tea, sit back and relax, and we're gonna jump right into it. Strategy number 1 is the most visual and also a very simple one. I use this strategy every day as a reminder when I go grocery shopping or when I make my daily meals. It is eat the rainbow. Different colors of plants have different compounds in them, and they are designed to really help our body to heal and to calm down inflammation. Think all the colors of the rainbow on your plate on a daily basis. When we eat a variety of plants with all the different colors of the rainbow, we are actually getting all those different nutrients our body really needs to naturally regulate inflammation. So let's dive a little deeper into the different colors of plants, starting with blue and purple. Berries are really packed with anthocyanins, and they help reduce oxidative stress in our cells, which is very important because oxidative stress is one of the main drivers of inflammation. And when we think about berries, we are not just talking about blueberries. We're talking about raspberries, blackberries, and even cranberries. All the different kinds bring those benefits to our plate. So you can get creative in the kitchen. From Thanksgiving to summer, we do have the opportunity to add those nutrient-dense berries to our plates that really help calm down inflammation. But just knowing that different berries are good for us isn't enough, right? We want to know how we can actually get our daily dose of berries, and for that we're gonna hop on into the kitchen real quick. One of my favorite ways to eat berries is in a smoothie. I always keep frozen berries in my freezer at all times. This is such an easy hack to have organic berries available at any time. They stay fresh for such a long time, and they are more affordable when you get them in a huge bag at Costco, even the organic ones. Now, a berry smoothie is something I do when I don't have time or have anything planned, because usually I have all the ingredients at home at all times. Another one of my favorites is homemade chia jam. Now, this is something I grew up with, just a little different. I know my grandma always used to say she would eat blueberry jam every day. Of course, she packed a lot of sugar into it. I'm doing my jam a little bit differently. It doesn't hold up as long, but I'm always making a small batch. I'm eating within a few days, and that's totally fine for me because I like variety anyways and don't want to eat the same thing for weeks and weeks. Usually I do frozen berries because they are more easily accessible and they have a better price. And I simmer them on really low heat for a few minutes until they are defrosted, and I can mash them up. Add a touch of maple syrup if I want an extra sweetness, and then I'm gonna add some chia seeds and stir it in. Now the chia seeds will expand and give those jelly-like texture for my jam, which I like. And then I spread it on my gluten-free seeded bread with some nut butter, or have it as a topping for my yogurt bowl or overnight oats. Now the next way to get your daily dose of berries for breakfast, or I do have that for dinner a lot of the times, is a yogurt bowl. Think a probiotic yogurt that is really good for your gut health, and add a few berries and maybe other seasonal fruits too. I also love like a homemade granola, which I usually have at home. I make it once a month and then I'm good. And then I also love to add some nut butter and some cinnamon sometimes. And this is a great snack, breakfast, or even dinner in my case, that really gets you your daily dose of berries and fruits. And if you're in the mood for a mocktail, which I am sometimes, then you can try my cranberry spritz. I created this recipe for the holiday. It's a prebiotic syrup made with ginger, cranberries, and oranges. And you can add sparkling water and make such a delicious mocktail. All my friends loved it so much and asked me to bring it to all our festive gatherings throughout the holiday season. It's a prebiotic, antioxidants packed drink that is really satisfying. Of course, berries are just one piece of the puzzle. There are many more colors in a rainbow, right? And I want to touch on a few of them. For red foods, think tomatoes, berries, pomegranate seeds, and even red bell peppers. It really supports circulation and immune defense. Now here is a fun food fact for you. I love those. Red bell peppers are actually super high in vitamin C, even more than oranges. So if you want to get your daily vitamin C, you just have to eat red bell pepper. Now I like to chop them into salads or have them in a stir fry with some tofu and some rice and maybe some broccoli. Or you can even snack on them raw with some hummus. For the best bioavailability of the vitamin C, you eat them raw, stir fry them real quick, or saute them. But try not to overcook them, okay? Because they will lose a lot of those vitamin C. Beta-carotene, on the other hand, which is found in yellow and orange vegetables such as carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, is best bioavailable if you heat it up. Like think roasted oven veggies, or put them into a blended soup, or even have them in your stews or in your curries. The best way to get the most out of those veggies, in sense of getting the most beta-carotene that will be converted to vitamin A, is to cook the veggies first. Now that doesn't mean you should not eat them raw. You can have your raw carrots as a snack, girl, with some hummus. It's so good. I honestly dip everything into hummus. This is why balance is so important. And sometimes we have our veggies raw, sometimes we cook them. A nice balance of both is really amazing for our bodies, so we get the most nutrients out of our food. Now we are finally arriving at my favorite color, which is green. Think dark leafy greens like spinach, collard greens, mustard greens, and think cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and even cauliflower, which can be green by the way, or purple or white. Now I do love to have some greens frozen or in the fridge at all times because I use them for my morning smoothie. I chop them into my scrambled tofu if I really feel a savory breakfast, and I add them to my soups and stews and bowls and salads. Like there's always a way to sneak in some greens. They don't have to be the main star of a meal. You can add them in almost everywhere. Broccoli, I do love when it's like just fried up a little bit and you want to get the most out of your broccoli. Chop it first, let it sit for a while, and then cook it, or add some mustard dressing or some mustard seeds to them, so you get the most out of the compound called sulforaphane, which can disappear a little bit when you cook it too much. The main thing is don't overcook your veggies, and honestly they are best when they have like a little bit of a crispy crunch anyway. Now what those greens also have, aside from sulforaphane and polyphenols that really help protect our cells and regulate our immune system, is fiber and prebiotic compounds. And this is gonna be super important in our next strategy, which I will go into just in a second. So to sum up our first strategy, we wanna eat the rainbow, as many colors as possible. It's not important to be perfect every day, but you can keep it in the back of your head when you go grocery shopping and when you create your meals, that you just add a little bit more color, a little bit more often, and I promise you this will make such a huge difference. And it's also a fun game for kids to let them explore foods a little bit more and let them create the rainbow on their plates as well. We're coming to strategy number 2, which is my favorite one. I could talk about this for hours, but I tried to keep it short and snappy here because I had so many aha moments when I finally pieced everything together, and it was like a full circle moment when I realized how fueling with fiber, which is strategy number 2, really impacts how our body deals with inflammation. What we often forget is that fiber is only found in plants. Think fruits and veggies, legumes, beans, and nuts and seeds, and also whole grains. And this is important because our gut microbiome, that consists of trillions of microbes, actually needs fiber to thrive and to protect us. This is where I had my first big aha moment a few years back when I really dove deeper into gut health, is that Fiber is only found in plants, we know that now, but it's also the only food that beneficial gut bacteria in our gut microbiome will eat. And it's important to know because the beneficial bacteria in our gut have so many different important functions. And there are 3 that I want to talk about today because they are super important to really get how this will help to reduce inflammation. Now, the beneficial bacteria in our gut only eat fiber, and they thrive when they get like different kinds of fiber from different sources, a huge variety. Usually we say we need 30 grams of fiber ideally a day, or between 25 and 40 grams of fiber per day, and 30 different veggies a week. I know this sounds maybe a little bit intimidating, but in the next 2 strategies, I'm going to show you how easy it actually is to get your 30 grams of fiber and 30 different plants a week. So our microbes, they love fiber, they thrive when they get enough of it, they multiply, they're having a good time. And what they do, the most important function, number 1, is they protect our gut lining, which is so important because if we don't feed them, the beneficial bacteria in our gut, they actually shrink in numbers. Maybe some of them disappear for good, and they really break down the protective layer they have on our gut lining. Now, worst case scenario is that you get a leaky gut when that happens because you're not feeding the good bacteria in your gut. And this is actually what happened to me and how my autoimmune disease probably came about because my gut was not protected anymore. And I'm dealing with those consequences for years, which is one of the main functions of our microbiome. Second important thing our beneficial bacteria do for us is they produce short-chain fatty acids when they get that fiber, which help reduce inflammation. This is so important because the third reason we need a strong gut microbiome is that 70% of our immune system sits in our gut. Now, this was mind-blowing to me, honestly, when I found out about it a few years back. So I was piecing it all together, right? I need to eat more plants so I keep my gut lining protected so I don't get leaky gut anymore. They need to produce short-chain fatty acids to bring down inflammation. And in an autoimmune disease, which is what I have, is that the immune system is very confused and attacks your own body. So I knew, like, I'm not taking care of my gut health. My immune system is basically ruined too. So when I piece all of this together, I finally understood how important it is to get your daily fiber. And it really has become a non-negotiable for me to get my 30 grams a day. I do get way more than that, which is a goal you can totally work on, and it's actually not that hard. And this is really how you get a strong gut microbiome, an immune system that really supports you and protects your gut lining so you don't have to deal with anything serious down the line. This is why fiber is such an important part. It's nothing flashy, it's nothing sexy, it's nothing fancy, it's not a supplement, it's just eating your fruit and veggies every day. To sum it all up, you need your fiber, your diversity of plants, your 30 grams of fiber a day to really help your body to reduce inflammation and to support your immune system. Now, this will help you so much down the line because when your inflammation gets down, your energy gets up. And not just slowly, this can actually happen just in a few weeks. Now we've talked about my favorite topic and we can move on to strategy number 3 is adding more flavor to your meals. You can add flavor and fiber at the same time because we're thinking onions, garlic, ginger, turmeric. There's so many herbs, spices, and vegetables you can add that really add more flavor to your meals. And it all helps to nourish your gut microbiome and protect you from inflammation. I think the cool part of it is that these techniques of cooking have been used for centuries in different cultures all over the world. And it's not a health trend to add onions and garlic to your soup or to your stew. It just feels like coming home. I remember, like, when I went to my grandma's, they used to cook a lot. They always would saute onion and garlic to make a soup or something else. And when I came to visit them and walked into the kitchen, it would smell amazing and it will instantly make me happy and I would feel like home. Different spices have different protective compounds. We know that curcumin in turmeric is well studied to help reduce inflammation. I do love to add it to my smoothies, to my curries, and even to my juices. You can combine it with black pepper, which usually when you cook a curry, you will do, and this way it gets more bioavailable too. Ginger is also something that is very good for your digestion and helps reduce inflammation, and you can use that in your daily cooking as well. I even sometimes get some sage or some mint out of the garden, put it in my glass with some ginger and lemon juice, and have like a hot ginger tea with some herbs in it. It's so easy to have this on a daily basis. Adding more flavor to your meals can have a huge impact on just getting a higher diversity of plants into your meals every week, or adding more fiber and most importantly more flavor to your meals. And it is really something we all can do and we all can learn to do. And most importantly, if your food tastes really good, you're gonna come back to it over and over again, and it won't feel like you're dieting or you depriving yourself of something. You will end up craving those foods, I promise. Knowing all these 3 strategies is amazing, but strategy 4 is where everything comes really together, because what does an anti-inflammatory plate even look like? We are going to find out. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out what to prioritize when we create a meal, because we're getting so much information from the outside, right? Like sometimes it is eat more veggies, sometimes eat more meat, and sometimes it's like just protein. And we're so confused. A method that is used in the scientific world for years now and recommended all over the world. The UK is recommending it, Canada, the US, and even Europe is recommending it. The plate should look like. So the healthy plate method I'm showing you today is not invented by me. It's just used in the scientific community to really show how to structure your meals. Our plate is sectioned into 3 parts. We have half of it that is fruits and veggies, and we're talking about dark leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, but also nightshades such as eggplant and tomatoes, and also different kinds of fruits. What's not included on half of our plate is starchy vegetables, but we will come to that a little later. We can already see now that it's very plant forward and very fiber forward, which I love. The other half of our plate is sectioned up into 2 parts. We have 1/4 that is whole grains. Think whole grain bread or whole grain rice, quinoa, buckwheat. They are packed with nutrients. And starchy vegetables are also included in that part. So this is basically your carbohydrate section that really supports you with a lot of energy. And when we choose whole grains instead of more refined versions of the same thing, white bread or whole grain bread, or white rice or whole grain rice, we actually add more fiber to our diet, because the refined version like white rice or white flour is stripped of all the nutrients, minerals, and also of most of the fiber. Stick to whole grains as much as possible. Second quarter of our plate is protein. When we talk about protein, we're not just talking about animal protein, which could be a salmon if we want to keep it anti-inflammatory, rich in omega-3s. We are also talking lentils and beans and tofu and tempeh, more plant-forward sources of protein, because they actually have the benefit of also adding more nutrients to our diet. For example, beans not just bring protein to the table, they also bring prebiotic fiber, which we know now is so important for nourishing our gut microbiome. And it is just another aspect where choosing a plant option will add so much more to your plate and also will help you nourish your gut microbiome. So switching to a plant-based source of protein for some of your meals will actually make a huge difference. We know now what to have on a healthy plate, right? But outside of our healthy plate, we also have things that we need to consider, like healthy fats. Now we don't need as much of it, so it's outside of our plate and in a healthy smaller amount. And what I really recommend here is using olive oil or flaxseed oil or walnut oil. Those are very good for our bodies because they also contain omega-3s. We also have nuts and seeds, for example, and when it comes to nuts and seeds, they also contain a lot of omega-3s. Think flax seeds or chia seeds or hemp seeds, and walnuts also contain tons of omega-3s. These are important because omega-3 really helps us to reduce inflammation in our body, and this is why I love a good chia pudding in the morning. And that's also why I love to add chia seeds and flax seeds to my gluten-free baked goods, such as cakes and muffins and brownies, because they not just act as a binder for gluten-free desserts, they also add omega-3s and fiber to our meals and to our desserts. When it comes to all those strategies, there's one important thing I want you to remember. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Start making small changes over time that feel really easy in the moment, and it will add up, I promise. Over time, will really help you to make a positive impact and to reduce inflammation. And if you need more inspiration, then check out my meal prep videos and recipes on the channel, but you can also head on over to my website. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one.